I'm Caitlin, and today I'm going to show you how to measure and install window quilts. It's easy, and if I can do it, you can do it too.
There are several important points to remember when we measure for window quilt. The track is always placed on the trim or the face of the window. There has to be a sill or a flat surface for the batten to seal on. Note any projecting door handles, cranks, or other obstructions in the plane of the track that will interfere with the shade. All measurements are referred to the outside edge of the track and from the bottom of the bracket. The number 100 series track is 1 inch wide. The 400 is 1 7/16 wide. Window quilt is always ordered on the whole inch. Let's start by measuring the window opening. Looking from side to side, first note the trim, whether it's flat, colonial, clamshell, or bullseye. Pick a flat spot at least a ½ inch wide for the track to sit on. 1 inch is even better. Now round to the nearest whole inch. For example, let's say you measured an opening of 32 1/2 on flat molding. You would probably order a 35 inch width. This would mean that the track inner side would be 1/4 from the opening. The overall dimension from edge to edge would be 35 inches. If placing the track towards the outer edge of the window, remember that the brackets require a ½ inch each or 1 inch for both. So if you place the tracks on the outer edge, the brackets may need an extra block to support them. Next, determine the height. If you're using the 100 series bracket, it's best placed flush to the top of the trim. Since the 100 bracket is 4 inches high, measure to the top of the window trim and subtract 4 inches. You can also place the shade assembly above the window trim by putting on a 1x4 header for the brackets to mount on. If you choose the 400 series window showcase, remember that the seal roller is on the bottom, thus this style needs 7 to 8 inches of space above the trim. Also, if you choose the 400 series, you can use pre-mount as an option to save on installation time. This whole unit mounts above the window trim. Now we're ready to install our window quilt. In the carton you will find the window quilt wrapped on a take-up roller, a seal roller, and a foam strip, a hardware parts box, and a pair of tracks. In the hardware box there is a pair of brackets, a jam roller, clevis pin and hairpin, lube caps, cord, tassel, screws, and track nails. Certain basic tools will be required for your installation: a hacksaw or PVC cutter, tape measure, pencil, screwdriver or power driver, scissors, hammer, and silicone lube. With the take-up reel to the right facing you, take the cord, placing one end in the hole in the take-up reel, then knot the end. Pull tight and wind the cord on the reel counterclockwise so the cord comes over the top of the reel toward you. Now wind on 3 turns. Next, separate the brackets. For a right-hand pull, take the clevis pin after placing a dab of lubricant on it from one of the red capsules. Insert it from the outside of the bracket through the jam roller so it looks like a W. Lock it with the hairpin clip halfway in. For a left-hand cord pull, invert the jam roller. Use the remaining lubricant on the 4 end pins of both rollers to prevent metal wear and squealing. Take both brackets and using pliers or an adjustable wrench, Gently bend the batten stop outward about 1/8 to 1/4 inch on each bracket, which will allow the track to flex as the quilt goes by. Save aside the tassel and the foam strip, which will be put on at the end. Cut the square peg on the track guide flush to allow the track to slide into the bracket. Measure the window opening width. Subtract it from the ordered width. Divide in half and center on the opening of the window, allowing about an inch space for each track to sit on a flat part of the window trim or molding. For example, let's say the window quilt was ordered as a 34-inch. The opening is 32 inches, thus the difference is 2, or 1/2 of this is 1, that is 1 inch in from each edge. Now we can mark along both sides of the molding in several spots where the outer edge of the track will be. Be sure to check it with the tape on one of these to make sure that it's correct. It should read, in this case, 34. Extend this track line on the right side to the bracket location. Position the bracket at the ordered height. Remember, the bottom of the bracket equals the ordered height. With the far edge, or the outside of the round hole on the line, fasten the bracket with the screws provided. Take the seal roller and place one end on the upper back bracket hole. Mark with a pencil the opposite or left pin end. This will be the position of the left bracket. Fasten the bracket at the same height as the other. Next, take the tracks. Note there is a left and a right one. Now invert one with the guide on the sill or floor. Mark it with a pencil about 1/8 of an inch above the batten stop. Repeat for the other track. Cut the tracks on the mark with a hacksaw or a PVC cutter. Now we're ready for the shade. Hold the rolled shade in your left hand with the end of the cord in your right and feed the cord behind the jam roller. Place the end pins in the center holes of the brackets. If the height is over 80 inches, you may have to use either one of the outer holes to prevent the larger diameter roll from rubbing on the seal roller. Slide each track up the side cord, tucking the cord behind the batten stop. Remove the protective tape from the back of the track, starting at the bottom of the track, and gently press on 2 or 3 spots, aligning the track on the pencil marks. Lower the shade partway and place the seal roller, starting with the jam roller side first, in its little slots. The roller fits at the top slot near the back of the bracket. With the shade all the way down, cut the excess cord and attach the tassel. With the shade still down, make a light pencil mark under the seal roller. Raise the shade until the mark appears above the seal roller, and remove the backing on the foam tape, placing it along the line. Seal by a firm pressure when the foam is at the top of the roller. Lower the shade and check for smooth running. If it's not running smoothly, use a small amount of silicone spray. If running smoothly, press firmly along the track and then nail about every 12 to 18 inches with the provided 1-inch panel nails. Operate your window quilt several times to ensure that all is well.